Good evening. I'm Steve Madison, the Vice Mayor, and I'm honored to welcome you here tonight to hear the State of the City Address for 2024 from our Mayor, Victor Gordo. I want to assure you that we're so grateful to be here at Caltech. I want to assure you that for Mayor Gordo and I, an event like this is the only way we could get into Caltech. I guarantee you. In a few minutes, we'll see a video about the past year in Pasadena. We'll hear from Mayor Gordo about the accomplishments and looking forward to his vision for the future. I'd first, though, like to acknowledge everyone here is special. I'd like to acknowledge my fellow council members, our fellow council members, and I see Jess Rivas, Felicia Williams, Jean Masuda, Jason Lyon, Justin Jones, a rookie, and he sits right in the first row, you know. And of course, Mayor Gordo and myself. Also want to acknowledge our terrific executive leadership team at the city. They really do a great job, and when you're on the council, you see their dedication and work ethic. And I'll start with our CEO of a municipal services organization, Miguel Marquez, our city manager. Our city attorney, Michelle Balnaris, is here as well. Our great city clerk, Mark Jomsky, is here. And our entire executive leadership is here, all of our department heads and assistant city managers and the like, and please thank them as well. I see so many of you who are also volunteers in important roles for the city of Pasadena, be it commissioner or board member of one of the operating companies, or just neighborhood associations and community activism. It's one of the things that makes Pasadena so special. Thank you for being here. And I also want to give a shout out to the spouses and families of everyone who works so hard on behalf of our city. When you work as Mayor Gordo and I have for 23 years together now, you see how it can be a sacrifice for the family. So Kelly and all of you, thank you very much. So I want to now welcome Caltech Student Body President, Gabby Twombly, who will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you for the introduction. Good evening. Please rise and remove your caps as we face the flag for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated.
Thanks, Gabby, very much. And I'd like to now, really, it's an honor to introduce certainly one of our hosts here, Dr. Andrew Howard, who is the Caltech Executive Director, Executive Officer for Astronomy. You may have noticed that we're in the Cahill Astronomy and Astrophysics building here. So Dr. Howard, let's welcome him to come up.
All right, good evening, everyone. So as you heard, my name is Andrew Howard. I'm the Executive Officer for Astronomy. I'm also a Professor of Astronomy here at Caltech. This building houses the entire astronomy department of Caltech. So on behalf of the Institute, let me welcome you. We're really delighted to host this event. I'll also say I was in this room yesterday for a lecture on photonics and interferometry, and it was nowhere near as lively of an audience, so thank you all for being here. While you all know Pasadena well, this may be the first time that some of you have been on campus, so let me tell you just a little bit about the Institute. Caltech started in 1891 as Throop University. It moved from downtown Pasadena to this site in 1910 and changed its name to the California Institute of Technology, or Caltech, in 1920. The mission of Caltech is to expand human knowledge and benefit society through research integrated with education. There are a little bit more than 300 professors, 1,000 undergraduate students, 1,400 graduate students, and 500 postdocs at Caltech. And compared to many of our peer institutions, Caltech is modestly sized, but we believe that we have an outsized impact. Caltech has produced 46 Nobel laureates, 66 winners of the National Medal of Science. We're associated with more than 2,000 US patents and produce 10 new companies each year. So Caltech, we're organized into 6 divisions, and I happen to be a member of the Division of Physics, Mathematics, and Astronomy. My wife likes to joke that the rest of the divisions sound all the same to her. So for completeness, they're biology and biological engineering, chemistry and chemical engineering, engineering and applied sciences, geology and planetary science, and humanities and social sciences. So that apparent similarity is because Caltech is focused on being the destination of choice for bright, creative individuals from all backgrounds, experiences, and viewpoints who want to tackle the most challenging technical and scientific problems. The Institute operates world-renowned facilities in Pasadena and beyond. We founded JPL and manage it for NASA. People around the world rely on the Seismological Laboratory for earthquake information and geophysics research. And our relatively new, Resnick Sustainability Institute has 4 focuses: water resources, ecology and biosphere engineering, climate science, and harnessing the power of sunlight. Astronomers around the world, like me, use observatories founded and operated by Caltech, such as the WM Keck Observatory, which you can see on the screen. Keck is in Hawaii. The LIGO observatories in Washington and Louisiana that were the first to detect gravitational waves, and nearby Palomar Observatory, which has been in continuous use since the 1930s. My astronomy colleagues in this building are leading experts on the life cycles of stars, how galaxies form and evolve, exotica like fast radio bursts and supermassive black holes, and the cosmology of the universe. One current NASA mission called New Star is led by a Caltech professor, Fiona Harrison, and is run out of this building on the 3rd floor, actually. 2 other NASA missions are also led by Caltech faculty in this building and are in development for launches in the next few years. These are called SphereX and UVEX. My own research group here at Caltech uses Keck Observatory to discover and characterize planets orbiting stars outside our solar system. In addition to research, many of us at Caltech are deeply interested in education, including public outreach. To this end, I founded the Planet Finder Academy 2 years ago, specifically for high school students in the Pasadena Unified School District. So during the last 2 years, we've had 30 students per year spend a really intensive week at Caltech learning all about planets, spectra, the physics of orbital motion, and computer programming. For me, it's been a great way to connect with the Pasadena community. Other Caltech outreach programs specifically connected to PUSD include the Visiting Scientist program that sends graduate students into Madison Elementary classrooms every week, Science Night at PUSD schools that include demos, talks, and stargazing, an Artificial Intelligence Boot Camp for high school students, and an Earthquake Fellows program that brings high school students here to campus. And finally, I'll mention the Summer Research Connection, which brings PUSD high school juniors and seniors to campus for a full summer of hands-on research that helps launch them to Caltech. So we're just delighted by all of these community partnerships. And once again, let me thank you for coming to this event and welcome you to Caltech.
Thank you very much, Dr. Howard, Dr. Andrew Howard, the Director of Astronomy. I'm a Virgo, so I want to talk to you later. Oh, wait. Hey. We're really in for a treat with our next presenter. I met her earlier today. She has an amazing story. It's Dr. Melissa Ramirez. She's a Caltech postdoctoral scholar in organic chemistry, and I think you'll enjoy hearing about her as much as I did today. So Dr. Ramirez, please come on up.
Great. Thank you for that introduction, Vice Mayor Madison. I'm excited to be here today. As Vice Mayor Madison mentioned, I'm an organic chemist here at Caltech. Many of you might ask, what does an organic chemist do? What is organic chemistry? Well, organic chemistry is the study of the structure, properties, and reactions of compounds containing the element carbon. These organic compounds are all around us. You can find organic compounds in plants, medicines, drinks, the clothing you're wearing, and the makeup that one may use. And so these are just a few examples of the relevance of organic chemistry in our everyday lives. Organic chemists use their creativity to construct and explore new organic molecules and compounds. They also find better ways of making or synthesizing existing ones. And these approaches may be more sustainable and or cheaper than previous strategies. As an organic chemist here at Caltech, I develop new reactions to construct valuable organic compounds efficiently. The organic compounds that I synthesize in my research at Caltech are called spirocyclic lactones, and these are important building blocks for making pharmaceuticals. Because I perform both experiments and computations in order to develop these reactions, I'm a computational and synthetic organic chemist. And so I work in the laboratory and at the computer modeling these transformations. In particular, I am excited about training the next generation of synthetic and computational organic chemists, and will be starting my own research laboratory at a research-intensive institution like Caltech or UCLA following my postdoctoral studies here at Caltech. Now, in terms of my background, I am a first-generation Latina. Thank you. And so I'm a first-generation Latina, born to Mexican immigrants. My parents were both born in Guanajuato, Mexico, in a rancho called Botija. They immigrated to Pasadena in the 1970s. I was born in Los Angeles and raised here in Pasadena, and I'm one of 3 sisters. My dad worked at Burger Continental on Lake Avenue, which is just a couple of blocks from here. He worked there for 25 years, where he did the cleaning and dishwashing. He interacted with a lot of the Caltech community since it was only a couple of blocks away. My dad had also worked at one of the cafeterias at JPL, and eventually came here to Caltech to work at Brown Dining Hall. Although my parents only went up to the 2nd grade, they always fostered my intellectual curiosity by encouraging me to ask questions. And they instilled in me a hard work ethic that still motivates me to this day. And so actually, if we just go back to the last slide, is that okay? These are a couple of pictures. My dad is in the center, 1981. My mom's here on the left. I am the child in the green pants. And I'm a part of a family of 5. You can see me looking like a goofball here on the left. And I'm on these other pictures on the side here. And so with that, here in Pasadena, I attended Marshall Fundamental. Go Eagles. And so I was there from 6th to 12th grade. In order to pursue my dream of obtaining a college education, I was determined to take advantage of all available resources. And by my junior year at Marshall, I was accepted into the Caltech Summer Research Connection Program, which Dr. Howard just briefly mentioned, the SRC program. And so this was my first exposure to research and sprouted my interest in a career in chemistry. I went on to become the first in my family to graduate high school and attended the University of Pennsylvania, or UPenn, for my undergraduate studies. At UPenn, I majored in chemistry and began to realize my passion for research in organic chemistry and mentoring. After graduating from UPenn in 2016, I pursued a PhD in organic chemistry at UCLA. And so, thank you. And so I was excited about learning how to incorporate or use organic chemistry to develop new medicines to improve human health. And I graduated from UCLA in 2021. Subsequently, I came here to Caltech to join the laboratory of Professor Brian Stoltz as a postdoctoral scholar. My background has truly given me a unique perspective on being a researcher at Caltech. It has helped me recognize that my position as a scientist is a privilege, and it drives me to take a chance on my dreams and ideas, even if they seem daunting. My background also shapes my optimistic outlook on research and science when the journey gets tough. Organizing science outreach at Marshall Fundamental and lab tours with McKinley Middle School, which is right down the street, has been a chance for me to encourage young students from my hometown to explore their interests in science and hopefully inspire them to pursue their dreams in STEM. And so with that, truly my background shapes the leader that I am today. It keeps me grounded and reminds me of the privilege I have to serve the local community of Pasadena and the world through science. And so I'm very thankful to be here today and to be able to share my story with you all. I'll leave it with, really it's critical for us to invest in educational resources, summer opportunities, summer STEM opportunities for students throughout the community. All students, including those from having low socioeconomic status. And so diversity can be, thank you. And so diversity comes in different forms. It has a broad definition, and so including the broad community is critical to ensuring that people can get to the position where I am now, where I've been able to secure a faculty position as of 2 weeks ago. And so I think I've taken a bit more time than I should have, but thank you so much, and I'll go ahead and hand it over.
Thank you, Dr. Ramirez. I don't envy Mayor Gordo now having to follow that story, I'll tell you. But I'll try to help a little bit and just say that, Marshall and Burger Continental and Caltech, the reason that we all do what we do is stories like Dr. Ramirez. So thank you so much for sharing that. So before I introduce Mayor Gordo, I wanted to just add a note or two, as is traditional as the Vice Mayor. The theme for this year is leaping into the future. And I know my mailman's ready to leap into the future after next week with all the mail that we've been getting. But I think you're going to hear that the state of this city is strong. And we've emerged from the pandemic. We've reacquired the 710 stub. We've adopted a mandate to be carbon-free by 2030, and we're achieving that mandate. We have a new rental ordinance that was put into play by the voters, and we're implementing the will of the voters in that regard. We have charter reform. We're willing to do the introspection that is required of stewards of public resources and governance, and many, many other opportunities. And I've been with Miguel, with Victor, 23 years, as I said, on the council. If you think about it, just do the math. Probably 40 council meetings a year, and countless other committee meetings and town hall meetings and community meetings and the like. It really adds up. He's sort of my work wife, but it's an honor to introduce him. Before I do, I was derelict in not introducing at least two other people at the top. Teresa Lamb-Simpson from Representative Schiff's office is here. Thank you so much. And Dominic Corey from Senator Anthony Portantino. And I also see Dolores Higginbotham from Assemblymember Chris Holden's office. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I'm sorry, and I wasn't given, yeah. Yes, from Judy Chu's office as well. Thank you so much. 201, these representatives at the other levels of government do a fabulous job for Pasadena, and we're deeply grateful. So now for the State of the City address, please join me in welcoming Mayor Victor Gordo.
We're going to have to work on some of his lines here. I'll take bosom buddies, but beyond that, I just don't know, Mr. Madison. Let me first, before I welcome all of you, let me just say thank you so much for being here. Welcome and thank you for being here. Half the job is showing up and you're all here. Let me acknowledge Vice Mayor Steve Madison and my city council colleagues and our city employees who every single day, and I tell people, it's not just every day, but it's every second of every minute of every hour, and every hour of every day that people who work for the city of Pasadena to make our city greater put in. And so I'd like to thank all our city manager and also our city staff for the great work that they do. I'd like to introduce and thank my wife, Kelly, and our children, Michael and Emma. Emma is here, and Kelly is here. Oh, we have the video? Mr. Madison got it wrong. So I'll introduce the video. Where's Steve? So the video. So as I welcome all of you, but before I do that, let me just say thank you to Caltech and Dr. Ramirez. What an inspiration. And I hope the video that you see here tonight is reflective not just of the Pasadena that we all know and love, but reflective and inspirational, hopefully as much as Dr. Ramirez has been to all of us this evening. Felicidades. When I said, let's highlight you, even I didn't realize the extent of your how much light you would bring to this event, and so felicidades to you and your family. With that, let's turn to the video quickly.
What is it that makes Pasadena so exceptional? It's our people, our spaces, our traditions, our history of innovation. So looking to the future, what possibilities lay in store for Pasadena? What new developments are on the horizon for our city? One of the most exciting opportunities is the release of the 710 stub back to the city. Pasadena is one of a few selected cities in the entire country to be awarded a $2 million grant through the Federal Reconnecting Communities pilot program. This grant will help fund studies that will lead to a community-driven process to plan for the vision of this area. Let us keep in mind the 710 corridor is a gateway to beautiful neighborhoods on the west, our old Pasadena Business District on the east, and a public safety corridor leading to Huntington Hospital on the south. And all of these uses must be accounted for and blend seamlessly. Pasadena is dedicated to creating a city where people can safely and comfortably get around by biking, walking, and riding transit. The Transportation Department has also held multiple community meetings and workshops to get resident input on the parking strategic plan. The Planning and Community Development Department champions economic vitality and safe, livable neighborhoods, which reflect, preserve, and enhance Pasadena's unique cultural and historic character. To that end, this last year, the Planning Department embarked on a citywide historic resources survey project and added to the city's historic inventory by facilitating 6 new landmark designations for residential and commercial structures. The 4th series of the rotating public art program brought 8 new public artworks into the city. As part of improving the quality of life in Pasadena and to move toward a more environmentally friendly option, the Planning Department implemented a ban on gas-powered leaf blowers. Speaking of moving toward a greener future, the Pasadena Public Works Department was awarded the Tree City USA Designee and Tree Growth Award for the 33rd and 23rd year respectively. This last year alone, the Public Works Department planted 331 trees, pruned 7,700 trees, and responded to more than 1,600 service requests for tree inspection and maintenance. In 2023, Public Works collected and processed approximately 18,000 tons of yard and food waste, 7,000 tons of recyclable commodities from the residential curbside collection program, and 15,000 tons of debris from construction projects. The department also removed and replaced over 19,500 square feet of sidewalk in community development block grant eligible areas. The Pasadena Water and Power Department continues to supply the community with clean water and reliable electricity. PWP replaced 127 power poles, 79 distribution transformers, and over 25 distribution switches. Additionally, they provided $2.32 million in electric vehicle incentives, bill assistance to more than 4,400 customers, and answered over 48,000 customer calls in 2023. The City of Pasadena has continued to invest in housing and homelessness solutions this last year. Located at 280 North Oakland Avenue, Pasadena Studios is the first affordable micro-unit development in the city, with 180 spaces available for extremely low to low-income persons. This is in addition to existing housing projects such as the Salvation Army's Diane and John Mullen Hope Center and Lincoln at Orange Grove with Heritage Housing Partners. Pasadena received a significant amount of funding for programs from the Department of Housing. These include a $5 million grant to provide first-time homebuyer assistance and the development of accessory dwelling units, a $5 million grant for the development of the Ramona Senior Housing Project, over $2 million for street outreach, motel vouchers, and housing navigation for up to 50 people per year who are living in encampments along the 210 and 134 freeways, and over $680,000, which will primarily support rapid rehousing and emergency shelter programs. The City of Pasadena is proud to have permanently housed 148 households through city-funded programs and transitioned 52 seniors and transitional-age youth from homelessness to subsidized low-income or shared housing. The city also served 239 people with weather-activated motel vouchers during the winter, with a total of 5,600 bed nights. The Pasadena Public Health Department works to protect and advance equitable and optimal health outcomes for all who live, work, learn, and play in Pasadena. This past year, the department provided people experiencing homelessness with over 4,300 meals, more than 1,000 showers, and 683 loads of washed laundry. The health department protects the community by conducting over 2,000 routine inspections at restaurants, tobacco retailers, pools, and tattoo facilities. The department also investigated 3,200 cases of COVID-19, including over 730 individual cases at more than 63 Pasadena schools and work sites. The Pasadena Police Department continues its dedication to excellence as a world-class public safety agency for residents and visitors. The police department confiscated 192 firearms and responded to more than 210,000 calls received by the police dispatch center. Over 91,000 calls for service were entered, of which almost 58,000 were 911 emergency calls. The department also provided over 7,500 referrals for services to community members experiencing homelessness and diverted 325 emergency calls to the port team to serve the unhoused. The police department is focused on transparency and building relationships with the community. Hosting events like National Night Out and Coffee with a Cup serves to break down the barriers between police officers and the citizens they serve. Volunteers with the police department completed over 5,300 service hours. In the past year, the Pasadena Fire Department responded to over 21,000 calls for service, almost 17,000 of which were medical related. To increase the services they provide for medical calls, the department implemented an additional 6th rescue ambulance, successfully deployed the community EMS subscription program, and the Pasadena Fire Department paramedic internship program. As a way to encourage youth into joining the profession, the department held its inaugural Girls Fire Camp at Jefferson School. This is a great opportunity for young women to learn about careers in the fire service and try hands-on firefighting tactics. Since the opening of the first branch in 1884, the Pasadena Public Library has served as a venue where all are welcome. In 2023, the Libraries and Information Services Department had over 55,000 participants who attended more than 1,900 library programs in person and remotely. Library patrons checked out over 578,000 library books, DVDs, and CDs, and more than 227,000 were added to the library's collection. The library partnered with 228 community organizations on services, programs, and events, including health clinics, early childhood education, early learning workshops, housing assistance, state park pass checkout, and much more. Over 68,000 questions were answered via Ask Us, live chat, and email, including reference and customer service support. With that said, let us not forget our library is not operating at full capacity to service our residents. On May 3rd of 2021, we were forced to close the over 100-year-old Central Library pending an earthquake retrofit. Before its closure, the Central Library was serving 40,000 community members annually, attending story times, author presentations, cultural events, art night, recitals, plays, and community events. The Central Library also served as the hub of Pasadena's local history archives, providing valuable historic documents, newspapers, photos, and research. We have been working hard on the earthquake retrofit project and ask you to follow our progress to reopen the Central Library. The Parks, Recreation, and Community Services Department, or PRCS, is committed to preserving and improving the physical, social, and economic health of Pasadena neighborhoods by delivering well-maintained parks and open spaces, and inclusive, innovative, and progressive recreational and community service programs. PRCS hosted several community celebrations throughout the year in partnership with other departments and organizations, including the Latino Heritage Parade, Black History Parade, Giggles and Screams, Jackie Robinson Day Celebration, Pride Flag Raising, the Egg Bowl, Adaptive Sports Festival, Veterans Day Celebration, and concerts in the park. PRCS opened the newly constructed Honorable John J. Kennedy Pool and Recreation Room for recreational swim classes for all ages, and completed the playground structure repair at Viña Vieja Park to ensure the playground stays open and is safe for all park users. PRCS served over 8,300 registered participants in recreation programming, youth sports, fitness and wellness classes, and adaptive recreation programs. PRCS also provided before and after school care for more than 1,100 Pasadena Unified School District students at 11 sites. To encapsulate this year's theme, we leap into the future with innovation and reevaluate how we do things in the 21st century. Are we reimagining our practices, policies, technologies, and engineering to emulate the future of Pasadena? We have placed 3 charter amendments on the March 5th, 2024 primary municipal election ballot to do just this. Measure R, S, and T asks the Pasadena voters to amend the city charter. Some of you may ask, what is the city charter? The charter is our city's constitution and guide to governance. Pasadena's charter was first adopted by voters in 1901, and since then there have been a number of amendments. These amendments update outdated codes and language, adapt to changes, eliminate burdensome processes, and ensure that resources are used effectively, saving money and benefiting the community. These measures are not a new tax, and they do not increase taxes. The measures do not increase utility rates. In fact, Measure R maintains a 4% reduction in the utility transfer approved by the voters in 2020. The update will lead to improved financial management and the ability to allocate resources to essential services such as 911 response, fire, paramedic, public health, street repairs, and senior and homeless services. The second amendment is Measure S. It requires the City Council to set limits for contracts, purchases, and claim approvals. It maintains oversight, improves city responses, and enhances efficiency in executing contracts. Measure S streamlines the procurement process and eliminates a burdensome process for our contractors and business owners. And last is Measure T, an amendment to the charter that will allow the city to create alternative contract selection methods that can be more efficient, transparent, and accountable for bidding and delivering public improvements. Under Measure T, the alternative project delivery method will expedite projects. It allows the city to adapt to practical and modern approaches to project management. Allowing for additional contract selection methods will help improve the chances of hiring local businesses, contribute to the community's economic development, and create job opportunities, all while stimulating our economy. Measures R, S, and T will maintain accountability provisions, spending disclosures, and annual financial audits. For more information, please visit cityofpasadena.net/charter-amendments. Pasadena is a city of innovators and innovation. Now let's all work together and together leap into Pasadena's future.
Again, thank you all for being here. My son Michael, by the way, is away at college, and he claims, like every other college freshman, he's busy at work studying and couldn't be here tonight. I am proud to say tonight that, and fittingly on leap year, that Pasadena is leaping into the future. And how appropriate, because we are here at the Cahill Center for Astronomy, where each day research and science is moved forward by leaps and bounds. Thank you, Dr. Rosenbaum, Dr. Andrew Howard, Dr. Ramirez, and thanks to Caltech for its hospitality tonight, for its commitment to Pasadena, and for preparing our next generation of great thinkers. These are the thinkers that will move our world forward, and I'd ask that all Caltech faculty, staff, please stand and be recognized. And students, importantly, and students. As a kid, my friends and I would ride our bikes through the Caltech campus. And I just have such fond memories of being here, and now understanding what happens at this place is just such an inspiration. And so, it's an honor and a privilege to be here at Caltech. As you saw in the video a moment ago, together we are a forward-thinking city. We'll continue to plan for the future, invest in infrastructure, strive for ongoing improvement, and face challenges head-on. I'm very optimistic as we leap into 2024, knowing that Pasadena is continuing to flourish. I'm looking ahead in anticipation as we work together, residents, businesses, and civic leaders to ensure every person in Pasadena has an opportunity to be a successful and contributing member of our community. Like Dr. Ramirez and myself, and many of you who have grown up in Pasadena, everyone in this community deserves an opportunity to be a contributing and successful member of this community. And that's the goal of your civic government together with the school district. At City Hall, our new city manager, Miguel Marquez, has been on the job exactly a year and a half today. And a majority of the key director positions are all filled. You'll recall that we had to work hard to ensure that all of our key positions, not just at the director level, but at the middle management and also with the line staff, ensure that city services continued even in the toughest of times. In terms of where we were last year, at this time, we've made a huge leap forward. And by working together, we've assembled a great team at City Hall who work hard, as I said earlier, each day for the benefit of those that live, work, and play in Pasadena. Let's not forget that we're also a regional destination, and we welcome thousands of visitors to Pasadena every day. Thank you to city staff, residents, and community partners for all you've done to help Pasadena leap forward into the future. Our resilience as one Pasadena gives me great comfort and confidence that no matter what challenges face us, together as a community, we will continue to make great strides forward. You'll all recall last year, inflation was on all of our minds, and it continues to be. While inflation has decreased, we're still left with the tremendous price increases that all of our families, including and our city government, have had to face. We've seen the price of higher interest rates and a general slowing of the economy now, both local and global economies. But I'm happy to report that Pasadena has weathered the economic cycle, as we have in the past, much better than most. We continue to see business invest in Pasadena as their desired location. We have a stable retail, restaurant, and entertainment economy, and we have very strong property values. While we are seeing slower revenue growth, primarily from taxes, and this will present some challenges as we look to maintain services and invest in our critical infrastructure and balance the budget, I'm happy to report that we continue to see segments of our economy do very well, and that's in large part because of our diverse economy. In addition, we're also challenged because the state and federal governments are facing significant budget deficits. And this creates a great pressure for us to be in a position to provide local funding to serve the community. But on a positive note, the city's general fund revenue has improved. Listen to this, all you former city managers in the room. From $303 million in fiscal year 2022 to $324 million last year. And that's not counting the $33.9 million in ARPA funds that were used when we needed it most to ensure critical programs. Just for a little bit of context, in 2019, our general fund was at $267 million. So you can see the growth that we've had over such a short period of time. And the city's general fund is driven largely by property values and sales tax, which account for more than 1/2 of our general fund revenue. While sales tax revenue has realized a tremendous growth from 61.4 million in 2021 to 75 million in the current year, the future forecast provides, again, for a little bit slower growth. Some say maybe a tremendous slower growth. So as we look at the slowing economy and changes in how sales tax is allocated to cities, we have to be vigilant, and I can assure you that we will be. Last year's revenue forecast, and I should say this year's revenue forecast is expected to remain flat as compared to last year. Really good news is where we're seeing the increase in taxes, and that's in the transient occupancy tax. You all know the TOT when you visit a hotel and you're told it's X number of dollars, and then as you're leaving, it's X number of dollars plus. That's the transient occupancy tax, the hotel tax. And I can proudly tell you that the TOT has now exceeded pre-COVID levels. And that's important because it tells us that people are visiting Pasadena. Now, take a step further and let's analyze where the TOT is growing. It used to be that the people were visiting Pasadena and we saw the TOT increases during the week for business travel, but COVID has changed that. We now see the growth in the TOT on weekends and not in business travel. So again, that's a signal to me as your mayor, and should be a signal to all of us that we're drawing people to Pasadena as a destination on the weekends. That's great for the city, it's great for the region, and it's great for our local businesses. So thanks to this strong tourism and leisure demand in Pasadena, this tax should continue to see improvement going forward, particularly with the opening of the new AC hotel in the Playhouse District and 2 additional hotels that are in the early planning stages. The Rose Bowl, Brookside, the golf course, I should say, Brookside Golf Course, and the Convention Center continue to see a very positive economic outlook going forward. Thanks to the RBOC. Let's give a hand to the RBOC members. And the PCAC, who manage the Convention Center. Thank you for your hard work. Back to the economy for just a moment. The Federal Reserve's plan for a soft landing for the economy in light of the high inflation is becoming more of a reality each and every day, but there's no consensus when rates will be lowered or at what pace. The high interest rates will continue to have an impact on the growth of our economy, with less private capital investment and less new development. So Pasadena has historically utilized modest yet realistic financial projections to fund these critical services. And we will continue to do that. So as we look at the state budget and the federal budget and the state's deficit of $68 billion, it should concern us all, and particularly where the governor is proposing significant reductions in the area of climate, housing, homelessness, transportation, and emergency response. In particular, the area of emergency response is an area that concerns us. Additionally, our federal government, as we all know, has been operating under a series of continuing resolutions instead of actually adopting a budget to fund programs and commitments. These challenges, I will assure you, at the state and federal level are expected to reduce funding that is critical to services and projects in our city. And not just projects and programs that come through the city, but think of all the nonprofits. Think of the impact to Caltech. Think of what we just saw happen at JPL and the number of people who lost their job, but also the important work that those individuals and all of them collectively were doing on our behalf of our country and the world. So despite all of these challenges, I can assure you that your city council and your city is committed to maintaining its high level of service, fiscal well-being to ensure a healthy future, and in ensuring that the level and quality of the service is there for all of us. Each year, our city endeavors to build a balanced budget that supports the community's needs with the array of local, state, and federal funds that are available to us. While we often focus on that $330 million, once $267 million of the city's general fund, let's keep in mind that Pasadena is a $1 billion operation. And we should strive always to use the $1 billion, over $1 billion, 1.1. We should strive to use those dollars as efficiently and effectively. Now you may ask, how'd you go from 303 million to $1 billion? 330 million is the city's general fund. Those are the dollars that we use for police, fire. Those are the dollars that we can move around to libraries, parks. The remainder of the dollars is mostly special funds, and most of it captured in the utility, dollars that we can't move around. So where are we headed? Looking forward to fiscal year 2025, the delicate balance will continue as we review where our funds are allocated and how we address needs in the community. I am hopeful about the future, and we all should proudly celebrate the recent victories we just saw in the video a moment ago. Acquiring the Kaiser Permanente property with the goal of partnering with the county and ensuring that we have the mental health and health services that are needed in this community. Opening of the John J. Kennedy Pool at Robinson Park, again, bringing desperately needed recreational activities in a neighborhood that desperately needs additional services, and they just simply were not there. Our partnership with the PUSD, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. EV charging stations, and furthering the work of the port team who is here with us tonight. All of these accomplishments illustrate how we're leaping forward together. We will continue to support our local small businesses and celebrate the diversity and strength of our community. And we will leap forward on a variety of city projects like the 710 corridor. As was stated in the video, the corridor is such a great opportunity to restitch our city, but it also presents tremendous challenges. I mean, you know, on the west, the neighborhoods, on the east, our historic district, on the south, a gateway to Huntington Hospital, and it remains a transportation corridor. All of those things will need to be balanced. And of course, renovating the cornerstone of our civic center, the Central Library. Let's be proud that Pasadena is tackling the issue of affordable housing head on. Consider this, 1,701 although Felicia Williams corrected me today and says it's 1,709 of the 1,986 units built in the city of Pasadena during the last 4 years. Over 85% have been affordable housing units. So let me say that one more time. 1,709 of the 1,986 units built in Pasadena over the last 4 years affordable, and it includes low or moderate workforce and permanent supportive housing. So you can imagine, as I move around as your mayor to the San Gabriel Valley and other cities, how proud I am of our community, how proud I am of the work that our staff and our residents have done to make this reality, to make this a reality. About 10% of all households in Pasadena now live in affordable housing, either an affordable housing unit or receive rental assistance such as Section 8. And more affordable housing projects are in the pipeline. We're continuing to find ways to support our school district, students and their families. Over the last year, I've been working with Pasadena City College, the school district, and the Los Angeles and Orange County Building Trades Council on a career and technical education initiative. I say, let's turn closed schools into career technical training institutes. Let's partner with the school district. Let's partner with the trades. I'm tired of going through all parts of California and the country and listening to contractors say, we don't have the workforce. I'm tired of people saying we don't have the opportunities to work. It's time for all of us to work together to provide those training opportunities to people of all ages so that they can find employment with those contractors, the developers, with local government, with state government, to have those jobs. When we break ground at the 710 freeway, it should be the first shovel, the landscape architect, all of those jobs should be a local Pasadenan. And the only way we're going to achieve that, and shame on us if we don't, is to start training that workforce today. So again, let's turn our closed school sites into professional training centers. We also must make certain our youngest residents, our 0 to 5, have the early learning opportunities and resources they need for a strong and healthy start. Dr. Ramirez is living proof that it works. We're continuing our commitment to issues associated with climate change and doing our best to protect the environment in a thoughtful and cost-effective manner. Striking that balance is important. At City Hall, you can be certain that we're doing everything we can to move Pasadena forward and leap into the future. So what are people saying about Pasadena that we should be very proud of? Last month, the New York Times included Pasadena, as they should, in its list of, quote, 52 places to go in 2024 in the entire world. Now, they almost got there. Should be in the universe. And I think we can all agree that our natural beauty in Pasadena is clear, that our talent as a people is clear. Vogue magazine almost got there. They said Pasadena is an epicenter. Again, we could have said and clarified, center of the universe. I actually called the reporter and said, you almost got there. So Pasadena is also among the most significant economic hubs in the region. We punch, as my former colleague and predecessor used to appropriately say, we punch way higher than our weight, significantly above our weight. And we are a center for employment, retail, food and beverage offerings, as well as business activity and technology, engineering, healthcare, and of course, regional tourism. We have a higher employment and commercial space concentration than any of our neighboring cities. And our retail offerings on a per capita basis far exceed the national average, as well as those of nearby municipalities, which tells me that Pasadena remains a regional destination for shopping and dining, and it has, again, a very strong diversity of offerings. Our restaurants, Pasadena, and this we may actually have exceeded on a per capita basis, has a higher concentration of restaurants than any city in the country except for San Francisco. The strongest industries in Pasadena as compared to the county are technology, architecture, engineering, and now we're seeing a real surge in life, physical, and social sciences, and healthcare. We also benefit from being part of the larger regional market, which has the fourth largest AI talent pool in the nation. Out of the nation's top AI firms, 21 are in Los Angeles and 4 are in Pasadena. She was very subtle with that. Wedbush Securities and Erewhon Market opened up on South Lake. The AC Hotel by Marriott broke ground on construction. We have a bevy of new restaurants, and if you're thinking about electric vehicles, both Rivian and Lucid Motors recently opened up spaces in Old Pasadena. Other businesses have renewed leases, have renewed their commitment to Pasadena by growing their headquarters and expanding office space. And we recently celebrated the reopening of the Hotel Dena and the Ice House. If you haven't been to the revamped Ice House, be sure that you do. So as you can see, there's a lot going on in Pasadena. Through 3 years now as your mayor and nearly 3 decades of serving our city, 20 as Vice Mayor Madison points out, 23 of them as a member of the City Council, 4 years as a field representative for Bill Crowfoot, and then working in our local nonprofits. I see the growth and change in our city in a very positive direction, and I'm eager and ready to help us take that next leap forward. Pasadena is diverse and dynamic as it is complex, and figure out how to make that leap forward requires not only revisiting where we succeeded, but also, importantly, reflecting on what we could have done differently. For a great future, we need to plan for a great future, which is what I want for every person in our community. Together we've done much, and together we will continue to do much more to leap into the future. Again, thank you to all of my city council colleagues for your great work. With a special shout out to my team in the mayor's office, Vanya. She's the subtle one. Araceli. Jana. And again, a special thanks to all residents who give so much time, including so many of the people in this room, to ensuring that we have a great city and work diligently each day to keep Pasadena leaping forward. In 2021, I said it was a time like no other, and believe me, it was. In 2022, I said we would be stronger together, and we were, and we are. Last year, I said, together we thrive, Pasadena, and we have. Now, I say, let's keep the momentum going into the future. Tonight, I say, we will continue to accomplish great things leaping into the future, but only if we do it together and ensure we're leaping into the future as a community. It is an honor and a privilege to serve as your mayor, and I thank you all for that honor and privilege. Thank you. And I think that completes our program. Thank you all very much